Hey guys, it's Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Today's another day in the fish room. It's about 1 o'clock, getting a late start, but let me show you what I'm doing and what I hope to get accomplished. So, brought in some fish. We got these tanks set up, doing water changes on them right now, and this is what happens when you order 40 discus and they mess up and they ship you 40 Oscars instead, which pretty much couldn't be any worse for me, but yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with all these Oscars. Also in this tank, just put a light on it. Obviously it's cloudy still. There's 300 red zebra African cichlids in here. Don't have a light on this tank yet, doing a water change. But there are 300 yellow labs down there, and they all came in super skinny, which is unfortunate. And so yeah, I'm having to feed really hard, which means I'm gonna have to change water really hard. So that's why the water is cloudy. It was not, well, that tank's newly set up and not exactly ready for the punishment it's receiving. So we're doing pretty much 80% water changes a day. We're doing pretty heavy water changes. So yeah, that's gonna be that. And let's see what else. Hopefully, I want to try and build some tops for some of the tanks. Maybe I'll shoot a video on how to do that if I find a way that is easy for most people, because I'm not sure it will be beneficial for me to show you how to set up a table saw and a chop saw and make 100 of them at a time, as opposed to showing how you could DIY one at home. And for the tops, we're talking about using this kind of material here. I want to find an easy way to cut that doesn't require power tools, which might be impossible, but I'm going to still try anyway. Some other things I want to try, or at least work on today, is I think I'm going to work on insulating the doors here that I've got. Kind of got it open and airing out at the moment because I've got a lot of humidity in here, and right now we run the fish room over here as hot, and we're running this as cold. The problem is it's colder even outside, and so I'm getting condensation on the windows here because I'm not running a dehumidifier in this room, and then on my back door over here as well. And this is only going to get worse as I add more water. So before I add more water in here, I want to start taking care of the water. So yeah, we've got koi down here. And we've got, this bin over here that we set up that you saw last time that's full of koi. So right there, that's roughly 600 gallons of water. So 100 gallons over here, about another 100 gallons over here. So, we're sitting at like 800 gallons of water, and easily, if I wanted to today, I could bump this up to, probably 1,800 to 2,000 gallons of water, but that's just going to make more of a problem. And so I've got a big problem to address, and that would be if I'm going to heat the space. Well, mostly, it's not even so much that I need the heat, it's that I probably should use a dehumidifier, and I don't want to run more than one dehumidifier because it costs about $50 to run. So that's what I've got running right on the other side of this door here. And at $50 a month to run, if I put one in this room as well, it's going to cost me $100. And so I'm thinking, if I can fix insulation in this room so it's not just profusely losing air or losing heat, then I could dehumidify both spaces, heat both spaces, things like that. So that's why I've been focusing so much on, I would say, focusing on not losing heat or energy. And I've started lots of things, and luckily most of the walls and everything on this space, they are, I'm getting some better light here, they are insulated. It's just the ceilings that don't have very much insulation. Like I know in my fish room, I've got about R11 or something like that, and then above the filming studio, where we film inside of there, above that room we've got roughly R11 also, and same with back here and all the way back there. And if you can believe it, this tiny panel up here is the access. Like, and you can see me in my videos. I'm not a small guy by any means, so this is almost impossible for me to get into. And even I think someone that's has a very smaller body than me it's gonna have a tough time. Let me take this panel out here. And so you can see what we've got. We've got a gable vent there, which that's great. So we're getting good circulation. And we can see we've got soffit vents and things like that. And we've got our pink insulation down there, which, you know, it's not a ton. And the problem is, so I'm up here, the roof where I'm at in this room that connects these two buildings at some point is above me, and the only way to get there, in fact, I'm going to put my camera up there and maybe it'll even show me if I have insulation, but hopefully you guys are getting a view, and hopefully I'm getting a view. This is how I'd have to get there. I'd have to come through, this is like a 12-inch space, and then I would have to get onto this board here, and I'd have to put or blow insulation back in here if there's not already, and I have no idea what's there, so I'm going to review that tape later, but definitely could use more insulation. Even if there is some, more is going to help. So yeah, that's the main project for today. Getting insulation done, changing water, working on things. I want to put hose bib guards outside for the ponds and stuff like that. And I realize that might not be fish room talk, but it's all part of the fish room. I've got plumbing out here that runs off the cold water. I need to insulate that stuff outside. I've got ponds out there. It's all of the to-do stuff when you own a fish room, especially if you're doing outdoor ponds like I love to do. Yeah. So I'm going to check in. I know I need to make at least one trip to the hardware store. I got to buy some styrofoam. Oh yeah, I wanted to build a attic cover. So like I have an access right here, but I also have an access in my fish room that there's no insulation above it, so I'm probably losing a decent amount there too. So I'm going to focus on that today as well. And then if I can bang out some of these projects quick, I'll definitely be doing more. So yeah, stay tuned. Hey guys, it's like 4:40 now. Got pink insulation all over my face. I had to go to 2 hardware stores. I went to Lowe's first. They didn't have the XPS foam I wanted, so I had to go to Home Depot. And while I was by Home Depot, I had to get Mexican food. You know, we never want to put Mexican food versus a fish room, so I went ahead and got some lunch while I was there. So now it's freezing in this other room because I got the doors wide open. And yeah, so I've got the first panels fitted. And you can see here that we're going to leave the window, and I haven't foamed in around or siliconed or anything yet. So you can see there's gaps. It's not exactly an exact science when it comes to cutting foam. At least I'm not very good at it. But this is XPS foam, and I went with this instead of the polyiso, which gets a better R value rating because this has better moisture resistance. And knowing that I'm going to be dealing with lots and lots and lots of water, I know that's going to become an issue for me. So yeah, I'm basically measuring what I need, making a big mess, and cutting it with this little like bendy saw thing that I found, and I thought, hey, that'll be useful. So yeah, good old trusty pencil and that, and cutting and fitting, and that's where I'm at. So I'm going to try and finish this up quick because it is ridiculously cold. Like I want to say it's like 30 degrees right now, or 35, something horrible. And so I want to get this sealed up, and then I want to try opening the door right over here and heating this space up. So that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm going to continue to work. And I'll check in a bit. It's 5:10 now. Covered even more styrofoam, but we've got the panels up. Now I just got to fill the cracks and do that. It is ridiculously cold. The temperature dropped, I swear, like 10 degrees in the last 20 minutes. So I really want to get this finished up so I can continue working inside the fish room. Feet are starting to go numb, that type of thing. But so yeah, next, all the gaps, you know, where I'm a really bad cutter, like right here. Like, oh man, how could you cut that bad? Well, I'm pretty good at cutting bad. So gonna seal it with some great foam, and hopefully that's gonna seal up all the gaps for me. And then I'm gonna get this sealed up and apply some weather stripping and call this beast done for now. So back to work for me, and we'll see you in a bit. Now I gotta do is let the insulation in the grate foam dry, and then I can come back in and clean it up. Yeah, I'm leaving some cracks at the bottom there, just in case any condensation happens, it can get out. I installed weather stripping. This door is crazy tight now. Like, I had to put weight on it on the outside to get it closed. With these latches down low and my latches up top here. So yeah, this, I'm hoping it's gonna make a big difference. Hopefully it's gonna clear up the condensation on the window and keep this space warmer. So, normally this space runs at the water temp's like 50 degrees or something crazy like that in here. And now the hope would be that I can seal up some more air leaks maybe up top and things like that, and further improve it before I add more insulation to the attic. So yeah, next project, definitely want to do something where I'm getting warm, so I'm probably not going to tackle the attic insulated door right now because it's going to make it even colder for me. So I might wash some gravel or something like that. So for now, I'm going to keep working. We'll see you in a while. Well, it's 7:20 now, and still working. Found some more fry, so I thought I'd show it off. I really need to start developing some of these tanks. In here, we have some Liberty Molly fry, and the people I got them from said they could never get them to spawn unless they put some salt in the water. I suspected it just needed harder water, that's why I put the barnacles in there. But it also makes a great hiding spot. And if you see, there's some fry, and fry will keep popping in and out of the barnacles, and it provides great space for fry to get away from the adults. And I know there's some bad glare going on here, but yeah, you can see, they're breeding and stuff like that. So I need to put some more food to these guys. I'm gonna get them on an auto feeder and see if I can't power them up a bit more. And I also want to get this tank set up. I'm thinking maybe each fish room day or each week or something like that, because I'm in the fish room a couple times a week, but maybe at least once a week or something, I'll set one of these tanks up, and I'll film how I do it and how I breed fish and set things up for success. And that way, there's more than just watching me insulate my fish room and do things like that, which are all very important parts, don't get me wrong, but right now it's kind of tons of building, not a lot of breeding, and then once the whole facility's built out, it's going to switch to not a lot of building, insane amounts of breeding. That's just because that's how it's going to progress. So, but yeah, I got more gravel to wash. That's what I've been doing, is washing gravel. I scraped some algae. Yeah, that's how I found the fry. I was scraping algae, and what do you know, there's fry in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more gravel to this tank. I'm probably going to plant this Amazon sword, get an auto feeder set up on it, things like that. So I'm going to keep working on that. And while I've got the camera out, maybe I'll swoop in on some more the fry that we already knew we had, which are these super red bristlenose. If I can zoom in here slowly, you can see them hanging out up there. They're getting close to absorbing their yolk sacs at this point. You can see they're still have some yolk sac, obviously. So the food's gonna have to start hitting this tank. And I'm gonna have to, I need to get some shrimp or something in here, and maybe I'll do that today as well, so that they can eat what these little guys aren't gonna finish eating. So, yeah. All right, well, it's time for me to get back to rinsing gravel and getting to working on these tanks. Never-ending process, so I'll check back in later. Well, it's 8 o'clock. I think that's about all I can get done for today. Gotta go pet the dog, that type of thing. But let me do a quick wrap-up and document what I got done. Alright, so we spread some gravel out in here with the 300 zebras. Put a little bit of crushed coral down with the 300 yellow labs. Got some meds in with the Oscars. They might be coming down with ick. That's, wish these were discus instead of Oscars, let me tell you. Anyway, Let's see, you got some more coral in here, the Cyprichromis. Also added shrimp in with the baby plecos. Also got the automatic feeder set up, so that tank's going. Got some more gravel in here, planted the Amazon sword, got an auto feeder on it. What else we done? I got a lot of algae cleanup. Moved a lot of the moss downward so that it would actually help protect some fry from some of these species that I'm breeding. Set up an auto feeder to go very slowly on the Psilocybe fry that are down there. Got an auto feeder set up on these blue Silverado endlers. Let's see, what else? So that's what I think I got done in the main room here. I'm running an experiment to see, now that I've insulated over there, if I can keep this door open and dehumidify both spaces and heat both spaces. And you can see here I've got the foam. It's dry now. I need to go back in and trim it. Got a mess to clean up as always. And so we'll see how that goes. I have a little fan going right here just to hopefully even the air between the two rooms. Yeah. So that's what I got done today. Turns out insulating doors takes a long time. Weather stripping, 2 different hardware stores, washing lots of gravel. Hopefully this episode wasn't too boring. It does show you all the mundane tasks you're going to have to do and the forethought that goes into it. Luckily I have lots of insulation, so it's not that bad, and I won't have to do too much more. But it's definitely getting cold out there. So if you like what we're doing, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other videos. We've got them coming out. Quick Tip Tuesdays, Fish Room Thursdays, random video that I put out every Friday, and then Lamont and I do Real Fish Talk every Sunday. So go ahead and leave comments, and we're going to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.